Sometimes I wonder about someone from, say, 150 or 200 years ago coming into our world. Can you imagine what they would think? Even if they could deal with the culture shock, it's tough to even imagine what they would think of our technology, the science and medical advances we've made over their world, even our physical capabilities like the athletes, as well as the attitudes and the worldviews that pervade our present day. I mean, things like cryptocurrency, would that even make sense to them? The internet, artificial intelligence, all things LGBTQIA+, woke ideology, the abortion atmosphere. This list could contain 1,000 items. What about defund the police? Or if I claim to be a woman, then I am one. What about this is my truth and you have your truth? I know many people in our culture are of the opinion that the way we think is enlightened and the attitudes and worldviews of the past are primitive or misguided, but I really have to question that conclusion. I did a little poking around to see if we're really better off or superior than they were before. In 1860, there were 607 prisoners per million of the population. In 2020, there were 450,000 prisoners per million of population. In as recently as 1950, 1/3 experienced mental illness. In 2020, a full 20% of Americans claim to have experienced mental illness each year. Now, from what I see on the internet about Karens exploding with nonsense rage, mobs burning cities with virtual impunity, smash and grab thefts of merchandise, and brazen shoplifters stealing bagloads of merch right in front of security guards who are not allowed to stop them, it would seem undeniable that we have a real problem. I think there are a lot of reasons for this crazy, immoral society we live in, but I think one big one is that for decades we have cultivated a climate of allowing, excusing, and justifying. I heard a challenging YouTube about a year ago about the academic performance differences between blacks and Asians in America. The reason for the difference, they said, was certainly not any biological or racial edge, nor was it even access to opportunities. Instead, this person claimed that the real difference was in the climate of their ethnic culture, where Asian families valued and pushed education, academic excellence, elder respect, and work ethic, and black families more often did not. Asian peer pressure valued education, whereas black peer pressure did not. The upshot is that the social and peer climate was more instrumental in determining reality than many other factors, or perhaps any other factors. So back to my point. I think one of the reasons our society seems so crazy is that we have cultivated a climate of allowing people to do what they want, rewarding them for it, excusing their behavior by blaming it on childhood or even historical causes, and then justifying it by claiming that all such perspectives and behavior are not only good, but also desirable and even superior. We are experiencing the cultural cancer of entitlement and equity. We systemically approve of and reward immorality. We explain and justify the behavior by blaming it on parents or the culture or something in history. But then we legislate the immorality to make it legal and celebrate it by labeling it as civilization finally achieving excellence. The result is the disintegration of decency, morality, industry, civility, and common sense. What we're left with is an idiocracy of degeneracy that functions on the foundations of hypocrisy and dishonesty. I know for sure my grandparents would be more horrified by the disintegration of society than awed by our technology. But rather than leave on a complaint, let me give some suggestions to begin finding the way out. First of all, honesty in language. Call things what they actually are. Stop the nonsense of calling a spending package an anti-inflation bill or calling illegal aliens undocumented migrants. Number 2, integrity and morals. Let right be right and wrong be wrong. And number 3, instead of shifting blame, start accepting blame and fix it rather than deny it. I'm curious to hear your reactions to what I've said. Talk to me in the comments below.